Alrighty then. Well, we're standing on the northeast corner of the property, and as soon as I get through, there we go. Let me zoom this back so we can get the whole thing. There you go. Now, this hill here's where we started our orchard, and property line runs right down. Let me see here. Yeah, just right down behind that shed. This is my neighbor's house right here. This is Bill Vida's house. Property line runs right down there, 20 feet behind that shed, straight to the rear. And this will be our orchard running over here, because back over towards that area is where the dam's going to be, and then you're going to have all this is going to be lake backing up to that bush right there. Now, our property line runs down to that second telephone pole. Let me see here if you can see it. There it is. Yeah, that second one, right? Let me get my hand in there. There. So then it runs all the way down into that area. And you can see the place was pretty brushy at one point. You know, of course, that's where we're living over there. Right now you can see our trailer, maybe a shed or two, I don't know. It's too bad that big tree right there is going to have to come down. It's going to be in the middle of the pond. It's also where the spring head is. The dam will be right in front of those big pines over there. So we'll walk down. I'm going to turn it off and walk down. We'll do another shot back. On top of the hill, here's that shed. And as we pan around off of this hill, now back there where that little bush is, that little sort of a flower and yellow bush, that's the northeast corner pin. It's all going to be orchard right here on this hillside. Right down there at those bushes to the rear, that's where about the rear of the pond's going to be. It's going to take in all of that area right there down to the dam about right here where we'll bring it across. Now, our property line goes straight on back down there. I don't know. Let me see here. We can't see it. It's down there towards the rear, at the very back near where those woods are. That's where the rear pin is. About 700 something feet. Now there's some clumps of brush that are still there that we're going to wait and save. But there's right there those little trees. That's pecan that you're looking at right there. That's the pecan trees. I'm going to cut one of them out and leave the healthier one. But that's where it's going to be, the big pond right there, man. Now, from where you see our trailer and our sheds there, all that was underbrush. It's been laying fallow for about 10 years, so I'll get some close-ups. All of that over there that you see is cleared. Now, Bill did bush hog the area where the trailer is sitting right now, and he bush hogged a trail out to the front yard for us. And you'll see when we get around there where we put in the driveway. And I'll also give you some close-ups of what this darn place looked like. Well, I'm going to turn it off now. I wanted to show you this. This is almost down to where the pond would be, but you know, we've got all these wild plums here that have burst into bloom. So we shall have plenty of wild plums to make jelly with. We've got these darn things everywhere. The back of the pond is going to be, and you can see there's some of the brambles that's got to be cleaned out and whatnot, but we'll have all this cleared with a tractor, gouged out, so that be a nice place for the pond. Telephone pole there, the very first one, this one, is the other property line. Now I'm standing about in the middle, and so come around, you see all the brush and brambles there. This is what this whole place looked like. This is where we cut it out to run the power in to our underground, you know, it's underground cable, and we've put out winter rye, and all this has got to be cleared out for the pond and whatnot. This is looking back towards the lake, and of course back there to where the little flower bush is the northeast corner. There's our driveway. There's our post office box, our mailbox right there, and our property line. And you can see how this stuff was all cut out and everything, put in our driveway. All this was heavy brambles and stuff that has been, little red lawnmower has been instrumental in rooting out and tearing up. We got to get some grass seed and put out here, but I'm thinking about maybe putting a garden out here on one of these. I'll show you where we got our other garden started. Our other neighbor right over there, that's Ronnie Nations. Property line's right there on that telephone pole, northwest corner. And it runs on up, and then we got this big stand of wild plums there, and it extends on over to right there. And there's some more wild plums. Moves back over into this area over here. In this thicket, just off of the driveway, there's the driveway. And I've been working in these brambles now for the last 2 days, 3 days, I guess, hacking on it. I've got another little trail cut out to the road there, but got to get Justin in here with his chainsaw and clear out some of these trees. There's the lawnmower right there. It's where I ran out of gas. And but I've got all that other to go. But I've cleared all this stuff out with this lawnmower. Bramble bush is over here. I'm going to have to leave for a little while. There's some grapevines just right in here that I've got to work with. But all that over there has got to be cleared out. How's this for an anthill? Now that's a red anthill. It's still alive. This one's dead. But now we've got to get all this cleared out. I'm going to show you an anthill that's very much alive. This one right there. That thing, believe it or not, is about 2.5 to 3 feet tall, and it's very active. Been here for about 10 years, I would imagine. I wanted to leave that one, but there's where we ran out of gasoline, so that's where I left it. I still got all this in here that I want to clear, but I've had to take a break. I've stopped because I wanted to start putting in the garden. It's our garden area that we started, and of course I've got a long one. It's not very wide, but it's long. As you can see, there's our power box right here. This is where they ran the juice in. I've got to come in here with some dirt, fill these holes in here where it sank. But now all this is these brambles that, man, they're tough. They're some of them about 1.5 inches, 2 inches on the bottom to clear out. I might leave those because I want to clear out near here to from the road back to the left here, get all that cleaned out and get it looking nice. I can hear the tractor. I just don't know where it is. I know Ivy's supposed to be mowing today. Again, here's some brambles. Got ourselves a nice pecan tree right there. Got to get in there and trim that out so I can get in there. Get to them. There's some more pecan trees. And here comes Miss Lupe on her tractor. Let's go see what's going on. She's going out to mow over there down behind the orchard. I don't know what she's doing here, but she's doing something crazy. There she goes. As long as she doesn't run over us, I guess we'll be okay. Passing some more pecan trees. Right behind some pecan trees right there. Well, folks, there she goes. Off to mow. Well, this is where we're doing chipping and shredding there. We're making sawdust out of the brush that we cut down. We got onions in. They're in that first bed there. We got potatoes in the second bed. I've got to go make beds all the way down here. Get it all the way down to this other end. We've got to get her grub going. All this will be torn out. This will all be pond right there. And now I ought to be standing on the edge of the pond, maybe even have my feet in the darn thing. Right down there is where the stream is. You can see some of the water coming across there. We'll go down there in a minute and take some closer pictures of it. Might have some brush here in the way, I don't know. Let me see if I can move. If I could move better, it'd be less jumpy. I'm gonna turn it off. Where that stream flows out across here. See, it comes from out of those bushes. The spring head is just right there in front of this big oak tree right there. We've gotten down in there. We know where it is. We've seen it. It's bubbling right up. Comes across here. All this is going to be dug up. Now, right in front of those big pines is where the dam's going to be. We're going to bring it up to about right there is where that second levee is, the second terrace. So I'll be standing underwater here where I am. And it'll go across to about, let me see here, right in there. There's a clump of brush. I assume that would be the other edge of the dam. And we're going to put a spillway over. Here comes Farmer Ivy. She's mowing her area. They fight over the tractor. Justin, Nathan, and Ivy is, y'all like to fight over that damn thing. There it goes. Turn on the mower attachment. Makes a 50-inch cut. It's a 20 horsepower Magnum engine in that thing. Pretty neat. Right about where these trees are is where the house is going to sit. And there's our trailer and the first shed. There's the far shed. The far shed's nothing but storage. I've got my office and Carol's workspace in that shed and some bedding. But from there, you'll be able to look right down into the pond area and the back of the house. Then we'll look down into this draw. It doesn't look good right now because all the little saplings and trees is down there, but we're going to fix it up with wildflowers and whatnot. There's some wild hedge right here. We got to rip those out, get them out of there. But all in good time. All in good time. This is the what we want to make into the meadow. I just walked straight from the back of the house, and this is where we've cleared it out. I've got to thin out some of these oaks like this one, you know, get it cut. So it's one of them there, and it's cut high. You can ride under it and keep everything nice and neat. I got some good sized pine trees started down here. I'm going to leave them. Leave the oaks and pecans. The sassafras, all that other stuff can come out. So there we are. There's a reference point back to the shed and the house. Shed back there, the house side will be just about right there. And then as you come around, all these saplings and all this stuff still has to be cleared, because where I'm standing is going to be a meadow. You got these big trees right there that's going to be right behind the dam. And then that goes all the way down our creek. All these big pines goes down our creek back there to the end of the property, to the back of the property. And now I've got a battery light coming on, but I'll have to stop and recharge. I'll continue here shortly. This is all going to be meadow. We're going to thin all this thing out, make it really nice down here with future. Well, a lot of time elapsed since I last filmed. As you can see, this is my upper garden area here. It's a little bit different now. I've got More trees put out, and as you can see, there's a tremendous amount of growth here. And right here I've got all my little fruit trees put out. I've got apples and peaches, nectarines. Oh, I've got some black walnut put out, so it's pretty neat. Can't hardly see it now, but our trailer is just right over in all that green stuff. You can't even see it anymore, and we've done a lot of cleaning. I'll have to take you over there and show it to you. Wild hedge bushes, they're going to be back at the very rear, right there, of the pond. Pond's going to go all the way down into those trees there. We got to get them out and be all the way over those big old tall pines, second bunch over right about there. So we'll have us about an acre or acre and a half of lake. Time I filmed up in here, we had a lot of hedges, a lot of briars. All that's been cleaned out, mowed out either with the little red lawnmower, or Bill would come over and bush hog it. He bush hogged all this area right here for us, which saved hours and hours and days of labor. We really do appreciate that, I can guarantee you. Really different. This is the area where the power went in. Briars and brambles, blackberry bushes, all cleaned out. Got grass sown up in there now. It'll be coming up. We'll keep it mowed looking real good. Pretty neat up in here. A lot of trees. This is our lower garden area. As you see, we got corn coming up along with some weeds, but hey, first year, not griping. We got bush beans coming up there in the middle, along with some okra. We've got broccoli planted down there and some Brussels sprouts. Beyond that is our some tomatoes. Then we have some beds that's got some more pole beans and cucumbers. Then our potato hills way down there by the chair, along with a big bed of onions. This is our lower garden here. Pond to be just beyond this, into those bushes there. So this one will be right on the water's edge. Then we got the upper area here, which we got an upper garden, and in between I've got 19 blueberry bushes that my friend in Douglasville gave us. We've got them planted right along this area right through here. We've already got some blueberries on them, but I'm not looking for anything this year. Maybe next or the year after. Looking pretty good here. They all survived. We've been pulling trees. Bill came over yesterday with his tractor, and we pulled up this one. I'm going to expand this upper garden area here. We've got a lot of vegetables planted up here, along with I've got some grapevines and dewberries. Carol's got her herb garden right over there, along with some onions and garlic that the Marinelle Vida's sister gave to us. When, as you can tell, it's a mess. We just pulled a lot of sumac trees and wild hedge bushes and everything. We've got that cleared out, and we just got to clean it up and pull that stuff out of here so we can burn that and clean this area up. This is up above, in between the garden and where we're going to build our home. You can see all these trees we ripped up yesterday. This will be where we're going to put our drive right through here, and we're working on this area right here. We're going to be putting in flowers and bushes and whatnot, and mulching it down. Be a center part to the drive, circular drive. And then we got the near shed, and then we got the far shed and our trailer. We got Carol and Ivy down there doing their hair. I guess that's them. I can't tell. There's a trailer. Then the home site's going to be right there in these bushes and those trees right there. That's where we're going to be building. As you can see, we're on top of the hill right here. And move around, we'll have the lake right now. This is down behind where we're going to be building. This will be to the right-hand side of the house. Carol Ann working on her wild peach tree.
Did you come here and find the spot?
Do what?
Did you come here and find the spot for me?
Alright.
Oh, I found it.
You find it?
I'm disinfecting it.
You putting something on it?
Alcohol.
Alcohol?
I don't know if that will help.
How about iodine? You gonna get a Band-Aid and put on it?
Yes.
As you can see, we're down behind where our sheds and trailers are. We got wild grapevines just right there, boy, and they're gonna bear big. Plenty of good jellies and jams, what have you. But I'm gonna turn this thing around here. We're about ready to go into the forest, and as you can see, it's down behind where the house will be built. We've got regular trails in here, and we're gonna go in. I'll try and walk smoothly. Don't know. Alright, now this is down behind the house here. The property line runs about another 350 feet right straight out through there. There's a pen, and this doesn't look like this during the winter. It's pretty sparse right now, boy. I mean, it is as green and lush as it can be. I'll try and move on down, not bounce or anything. I'm not used to walking like a cat, so we'll go on down through here best I can. Wind here. Gets pretty neat down here during the summer. Good sized grapevine right here. Boy, evidently I got a trail. Yeah, I did. I'm way off the trail here. Got something stuck in my throat. Yeah, here's our trail now. A little premature getting in here, but doesn't look like a trail, but we can tell what it is. I don't know. Our property line crosses right over in here somewhere, going towards the rear, and as you can see, there's a pretty good size creek right here that runs across the backside. Now you can see where our trail is down through here. Grapevines and everything. Oh, I'm stuck in my throat. Here's this creek. Now this creek is, I'd say, 7-8 feet deep. You can see it's got wild ferns growing in it. Looks really good. It's beautiful. It's lush down in here. It's green. Get a lot of rain. Keeps everything really nice and lush and green. This is Nate's bridge right here. You put this across and down if you doesn't walk it. Now, our pen is way back up in there somewhere. And about another 200 feet, there's a big metal fence post that's marking the corners. That's a pretty nice area down here, nice and lush. Carol and Ivy are going to come down here and collect some of these ferns. They want to transfer some of the ferns up to the garden area that we're building. I hope this movement doesn't make anybody sick. I'm trying to be gentle, but I wasn't given any nice walking area. It's still the back of the place there, and we've got dogwoods down in here, other little tidbits of trees and whatnot. We got tadpoles down here, bullfrog tadpoles in this one pond. They're huge. Also got a snake. This is this is Carol and Ivy's favorite place. We've got this swing right there the boys put on, but they want to clear this out and mulch it down. Well, we've got this swing hanging there. They want to put in a little porch swing, swing it off of that limb right there. Okay, so that they can come down and sit here with this little tree and commune with nature. This is still in the back side of our place now. We'll cross over. Now this, right down in here, as you can see, it's got ferns and it's got moss growing on the side of the hills. And there's this pond right there that's got quite a bit of tadpoles in it. Of course, they're hidden right now. We'll bring this up and around. Good sized trees here. This is the pond right there that, boy, it's got bullfrog tadpoles in it that are tough at that water coming over that old root right there. This is all spring fed, so it runs all the time. There's a dam of rubble right there that gives this pond its character, I guess. Helps it back up so that the tadpoles and anything else that's waterborne can take care of it. Beautiful down in here. There's also a snake that lives down here that scares Carol occasionally, but I've never been able to see him, so I don't know what kind it is. We'll switch around through here. Now our property line crosses back over somewhere. I don't know, there's a lot of ripples down there in that water. Might have been a snake or another frog jumping there, who knows. I've never seen the snake, so I don't know what it is. It's a beautiful pond right here. We've got some turtles that lurk around. And I guess this is where the deer used to cross. And we haven't seen any since we've been here. I've only seen one set of tracks. Although it's a nice area for it. Now, summers here, they'd have plenty of cover. Bill says they'd come up, eat his garden goods, but now that we've started clearing, I don't know if they're going to be coming in here or not. Pretty area right here. Real green, lush. Our property line crosses over somewhere in here and heads back up into these trees right through here. And then it cuts back again to the right and goes on out. So I'm going to cut down through here. If I can keep one eye out for my trail. We walked this enough that we've got us a little trail down through here. I don't know where the property line crosses over, but we chug down through this place. The dogs love it. It's a lot different when it's during the summer and all these leaves are fleshed out. Might have to get some goats and come and clean some of this out. It's just absolutely unlivable. I'm going to turn it off first. Oh no, I'm putting it up on this when I turn back up. Get in our place here. Our property line cuts back across by these big trees right here, right in front of them, and cuts back into the woods. from these trees. Here's an old fence post right there. Property line cuts back in and goes right back up into those thickets right there. We don't know. We've got a basic idea where it is, but gonna have to get a surveyor, I guess, in here and have him shoot it right. We've got a trail that runs back up through there and goes into the house. Now, not to the house where we plan to build. This creek right here is about 6 foot deep. Of course, it's lined with moss, ferns, and it's also spring fed off of the spring head that's on our place. A lot of grapevines down in here. Oh, see here, where am I? Yeah, how's that for a grapevine stub? Man, that darn grapevine root is about 12 inches around at the base. Goes up into these trees. It's humongous. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna have to turn around and go across this creek here. Here's our path. So I'll cut back across. We're gonna wind up back over here, and I'll show you the rear pen. Now, right here's our pen. Now, that's the corner pen for the eastern corner, and then it runs back into those trees again. That's where it took off. So, I was down here yesterday with what I like, man. I like to get in here. You can see, man. Got in here and tore this out. It's so fine running that tractor up in there and grinding this stuff out. Whew. I love it. Justin doesn't like me to do it. He thinks I'm going to tear the machine up. What the hey, man. Now, from that pen right there, which is our southeast corner, this is Bill Veda's place right here. He's gutting it go into hay. This guy cuts it. That's the back of Bill's house right up here. And our property line just runs right up that row. 700 and something feet. This is the back part. It's real pretty down here, except over here to my right, there's some people that raises dogs. That isn't too cool. They bark like crazy. Drives you nuts. Well, I'm going to turn it off so we can move again. Now, property line just runs right up along that property pin that's right there, and it runs on up. You just had that shot up to Bill's house. Bill's house is right up in here somewhere. And we've got some clusters of brush here on the right. Not brush, but trees and brush and blackberry vines. And then we've got this area here that runs all the way up. And at the very end up there, is if you cut to the left, that'll cut right through where the dam is going to go. A little creek runs down through these trees here. We're going to leave these just like they are. I've got a grapevine up here that's just absolutely neat. It's going to be producing this year. Got a lot of got us a lot of little baby grapes on it. Don't know if you can see them, but we're going to try it. You can just let me see here. Yeah, here's some right here. There they are. Little old baby grapes on there. Man, this thing's loaded. We got several of them that's just absolutely covered up. See those little grapes on there. Neat. And we got some wild blueberries called, I think they call them huckleberries. Here's another one that's absolutely loaded. I'm gonna hold this vine up. Man, this thing is just covered up in little babies, little baby grapes. Gonna have us some jams and jellies. Little creek right over there, still running parallel here to us. As we turn around, that's the dam area, be right up in here. There's a pretty good sizable chunk of trees and brush here. And then as you can see, this is where we came walking up, right down through there. Pretty nice. Now, this is where the dam's going to be. There's pecan trees right there. It's going to be taken out. We're going to lose them. But we're going to save what we can. This area here we cut out. Went through here with the brush hog and then the mower. Trying to get back up through here. We've got blackberries all through here. It's going to be a blackberry season. We've got blackberries bushes that are blooming, with a lot of them still with blooms coming on, so it's going to be a good blackberry season. That's some blackberry stuff right in there that's blooming, along with some right down in here. But now some of this is a wild hedge that's blooming. As you can see, something's been eating this. I don't know what it is. They've just eaten all the leaves off of it. All this right in here is a wild rose bush, and boy, is it fragrant. Now you can hear me, but boy, I wish you could smell this thing. See, it's all through here. Bees are working it like crazy. There's a wild rose bush. We like this. Pretty. Ooh, smells great. There's a bunch of honeysuckle in here. It's all blooming, mixed with that rose. Whew. Cloyingly sweet. All that up here is just nothing but wild hedges that are blooming. Carol can't even get down in here. Boy, it chokes her up. Now I'll go up this way. I'll show you where the dam, actually we were standing right where the dam's going to go across. Now, right back up on the top of this hill, just on the other side of this hill is where the orchard is. And there's Bill's house right there with his barn and his tractor. So that's where the orchard is. I'll be standing in water right here where I am. And there's where the dam will go across, right, I guess, right there in front of where those hedges are, because it's going to be about 50 foot thick at the base. It's a lot different during the summer when we got everything leafed out. In wintertime, not bad. And right here at the bottom, our one springhead that runs during the high water season, that is right here in front of this guy, he's dried up. It normally comes across right through here, so water table's dropped sufficiently that it's turned off. Standing where I am, I'll be about 17 feet under water right now. So there's a springhead on back down there, but it'll be okay. It won't be covered up. Then it'll go on back up that side where the other side of the dam is going to be. Pretty neat. And then as we turn, we're going to go back up. You can see this is our path to the that we've been using to drive and walk down through. We keep a path mowed out. We do a lot of walking along the place. Needless to say, we enjoy it. We've got some wild strawberries. They're not the wild variety. They evidently a bird ate some and passed a seed, because we've got them down in here. We got 3 very distinct patches, and as you can see, there's some little blooms right here. Those are strawberries that are blooming. We've been picking some. Now these are just coming in, and But we've already been eating strawberries from the wild ones that's back off behind where the house is going to be. I'm going to come up. Here's our chipper shredder and our compost pile. Wood stack that the boys swear they don't know why it fell over. Of course, brush to be burned and shredded. Whoops. Here's the lower garden area with my overseer's chair. Now, we've got 3 varieties of onions: reds, Vidalia, and Texas sweets. You can see our cabbage plants are doing real well. So is our tomatoes that planted there, and our tomatoes are just doing wonderful. We've got lettuce on down there with some more tomatoes and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and then the corn's on the very end. On some lettuce over in the shade there, just now starting to come on. Well, this is looking real good. All this was heavy brush, man. We've been mowing and slicing and dicing and burning, and as you can see by these brush piles, and I've shredded a bunch. We've burned a bunch. Down there where the chairs are, Justin built a fire pit. We've been burning a lot of stuff, and there's piles of brush down there that we burn. And, of course, I've got my pecan trees here. There's one, well, let me get my bearing here. Here's one right there. Another one right there. That's another one right there. There's another one right here. Another one right there. So, yeah, I've got 34, 35 pecan trees. Now, I've fed them and put lime on them for next year. So next year I've only got one that's really got any tassels on it. That's where we've cut the power line and grassed it. It looks the best, but we'll get there. Got my grapevine set out here, dewberries, and then Carol's right here in the tree and everything. She got all of her, we got garlic and onions there. She got some herbs. And I got another potato row there. You can see Bill and I were pulling trees yesterday, so I've got a mess here yet to clean up. This pecan tree right here, he's the only one that's got tassels on him. He'll have pecans this year. This pecan tree, I fed him and everything, and limed him, but he'll be all right. He's no tassels, neither is this one here. We're still going at it. The old red, big red. That's why I like busting down all those old things, briars and everything. House, of course, will be sitting right there. We've started a project this week where we're going to be having all this area, as soon as I get here to it, starting with these trees that winds around. All this will have flowers and brush and whatnot. We're going to put in ferns, bring some ferns up from below, and I've got some stuff I want to plant in it and whatnot. And this will be in the center of the driveway. This is where the drive comes in right there. Now we're taking some time down here so old Tom don't see me. He's down there weed eating. But now, another pecan tree right there. This is a big one that's doing real well. Got another pecan tree right there along with a grapevine, but this comes off the drive, these 2 lanes, and then it's going to turn and swing around right through here. House will be right over here, swing right around and swing back around this flower bed and back out. Pretty neat, huh? Got a bunch of honeysuckle blooming in there. Looking real good. That's the front of the house. The boys couldn't wait. They had to put us up a TV antenna. Here's another one of my pecan trees. They even tied it to a pecan tree. Beggars. Oh, that's pretty, what you might call primitive, but boy do we like it.